Hello, and welcome to Squabble, a noisy quarrel about something petty or trivial. I'm Carter.
And I'm Jacob.
And welcome to our podcast. This is an episode that we wanted to do because we got some pretty good feedback on our last episode that was similar to this one, which was ranking Pixar movies, what is the best Pixar movie, and we ranked those, and everybody loved that. So we're doing a little movie ranking again.
Yes.
And in honor of the upcoming Marvel's Infinity War movie,
Very anticipated.
Avengers Infinity War, we are ranking every single Marvel Cinematic Universe movie.
Yes.
So the cinematic universe? We're not ranking every Marvel movie. That's a lot.
Yeah, pretty much we're ranking all the movies that were made by Marvel Studios, which is its own movie studio. So you've got Marvel as a company, which makes all sorts of things, comics, toys, But then you've got the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and
I'm gonna
list them off. There's the X-Men, the older Spider-Man movies. Those aren't a part of this.
Yeah, let me just list them off right here, because
you can kind of feel they all kind of have different tones to them. You can kind of feel which ones are the MCU.
Yeah, so we're ranking Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America: The First Avenger, Marvel's The Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Captain America: Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Thor: Ragnarok, Black Panther, Avengers: Infinity War.
And that's it. We're not ranking Infinity War. We haven't seen it. We're seeing it tomorrow. I guess when this episode comes out, though, most people will have seen it.
But I'm anticipating that this might take a little long, so let's get right into it.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree. So we just want to start with
Jacob. What is your worst movie?
What's your? Oh, we've got the same one. Okay, Thor: The Dark World.
Yep, Thor: The Dark World. I put that's it. It was a terrible movie.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, honestly, there wasn't really much for it. There wasn't a big reason. It's not like it had to set up something. It's not like
it kind of set up something. It had there was an Infinity Stone in there.
Yeah, but it was mostly just boring.
It was so boring.
I will say the one thing, Loki was the best part in that movie. It's probably the best Loki has been portrayed in any of the Marvel movies.
Even the action scenes were just boring to watch. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. It was weird.
Boring. It was just a boring movie.
But you have to admit, Loki was a good part of that movie. He carried it.
Yeah, Loki was great. And I love Thor too. He's one of my favorite characters, but that movie was just so boring.
Yeah, it's like Thor wasn't charming as he usually is.
I think pretty much the world agrees that's the worst movie. So let's move on, shall we?
Okay. I can already see your next one. I'm kind of offended.
I put the first Avengers, the first Avengers movie.
How?
What did you put?
I put Iron Man 2.
Really?
Yeah, Iron Man 2 that's another one that it wasn't bad, I guess. Actually, it was kind of bad, but it wasn't great. The only good part in Iron Man 2 was Tony Stark and Iron Man. He pretty much carries all the movies anyways.
Why I ranked this one so low is because when I watch a movie, I love to see. I like to see characters, and I like to see the depth in a certain character and that character's, I guess, story.
Yeah, they did that greatly.
Yeah, but there were so many characters. It was so hard for me to relate to just one or to pick.
Well, so was Civil War, and obviously you didn't put Civil War this low.
I did not put Civil War this low, but I did not put it as high as you'd imagine. I like a story that focuses on one character and that character's road to that character's goal, that character's life, that character's adventures.
Yeah. I don't know
when there's so many characters.
Okay, well, I don't want to say too much about the Avengers because that's much, much higher on my list.
Okay. Let's.
Iron Man 2, yeah, it was okay. I put it down there because everything else, the villains, the bland story. But the reason I did put it above The Dark World is because Iron Man's progression through that story of his depression or whatever was really good. It was fun.
That's true. That's why I put that one kind of high, because he did have that was it was kind of a basic storyline. It was.
Iron Man's had one of the best character arcs through the entire cinematic universe.
That one movie had a good, had a great character arc for Iron Man. So I would venture to say you should move that up your list.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's just
say yes.
Okay, yes. But I think only if you put Avengers higher.
I don't know. Okay, well,
okay.
You're probably gonna hate me for my number 16.
Okay, my number 16 is Hulk.
Mine is Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Okay, I don't. I will give you that Age of Ultron. It's pretty. I mean, it's somewhat low. It's mid tier on mine. It was good, but it was just. I mean, what are your thoughts? You were the one that put it this low.
Yeah, I put it low because I think they were building up to something really big, and I just felt like it was over way too quick. Like this Age of Ultron. It wasn't really an Age of Ultron. It was like a couple days of Ultron. It was like, I mean, I don't know. They defeated him very quickly, and he acted like this huge threat, but it took him like a couple days to defeat not only Ultron, but an entire army of
Ultrons.
Of Ultrons.
Yeah.
You'd think that it would be difficult, and Quicksilver died, but he was
spoiler
also
alert.
introduced in the same movie.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah, it definitely had its issues, and it was kind of crowded. It was one of their. I guess they did it with the Avengers. This was one of their first times with putting this much into one movie, and I mean they did an okay job, but obviously they've gotten better at doing that. Yeah, I love
when a character. I love characters. That's the best part about a movie. I think the characters. And so when they introduced these two new characters, which is Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. They're really cool characters. And I love it when, that sounds terrible, I love it when they kill characters off. Because that means that character has, it's his time on screen comes to an end, and all great things come to an end.
Yeah.
Every great character dies, But Quicksilver had just a little bit of screen time, and then he died. But I wanted to see more of Quicksilver. I didn't want him to die.
I'm sure he'll come back. That's what Marvel does.
But he did have a meaningful death. He was kind of scared, But Hawkeye gave him that little inspirational talk.
That is one reason that
it wasn't
really
a bad death.
Age of Ultron is that it built on Hawkeye, and it made Hawkeye cool.
Okay.
It made him relatable. I like him now.
Speaking of which, spoiler warning. Did we not say that at the beginning?
No, you already said someone died. That's what I said.
If you don't listen to this,
you can put that in the beginning. We'll record this at the end, do a little bit of editing or something.
Probably won't.
Yeah, probably not. Well, I put Hulk. We didn't really talk much about that one.
Hulk, really? I loved the Incredible Hulk.
You loved it?
I put it pretty high on my list.
That one, it was.
You can kind of see it's not that high, but it was a really good movie.
It was. I mean, it was kind of boring.
Really?
It was hard. Which I get it. It's hard to make a movie relatable about a giant green rage monster. I mean, that's
true.
And number two, it's hard to make a movie exciting when the goal of the movie is for his heart rate not to get very high.
Really? No,
I mean, in the middle of every action scene, he just looked down at his watch to make sure he wasn't getting too excited.
What? No. When it was
okay.
When his watch started beeping and his heart rate was about to go over his maximum, and he had to calm down even in the heat of battle. Those were some intense moments. He's running through the streets and people are shooting at him, but he's also trying to stay really calm. Those are some intense scenes.
And it was just, I don't know. It seemed kind of it had lots of cheats too. How sometimes he would have to be, sometimes you can control it, sometimes you can't, and it's
that
just
is
kind of
true. But I think I give that a little bit of It's the Hulk is kind of inconsistent through the Marvel universe, I gotta say, but it's hard. I think, especially when he's he's the most powerful character in the whole universe, I'd say.
Yeah.
So it's hard to keep him really consistent, but I mean that's on them, and so I do count that. So I understand that you put it so low. And plus, the actor changes.
Yeah, that made it difficult,
that
too.
annoys me, dude. I hate when, they change an actor.
Not to mention that also the CEO of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, he went back and said that he regretted making The Incredible Hulk as the first Marvel movie of the cinematic universe.
Because I liked the movie. I did.
Yeah. Okay, number 15.
Number 15.
Iron Man 3.
Me too, Iron Man 3.
Nice.
I guess we don't have to touch on this one very much. It was really basic.
Well, yeah, and the whole villain, it was kind of weird.
It was weird.
The best part some of the only good parts were with the kid and Iron Man.
That was
Those
awesome.
were like the best. Tony Stark and the kid, they were really
He was
funny.
kind of like that fatherly figure.
Yeah, and it was kind of fun though, seeing them interact. And that when he like fell into the small town and like when he crashed, it was pretty cool. But other than that, the movie had little redeeming factors.
I thought it was cool when Pepper Potts became one of those.
Yeah.
What are they called? What were they called?
I can't remember.
But she got superpowers. But didn't
Fire
she get him
person.
taken away again?
Yeah, I'm not exactly
and
sure.
That's
it's kind of weird.
Disappointing. Like she was like, oh, she's gonna be a new superhero, but then she got no screen time, and I think her powers are gone now, and that's really disappointing.
Yeah, not to mention that Iron Man at the end of Iron Man 3 was like, oh, I'm gonna retire, but
yeah, he also like everything he said in that movie, he went back on, which is kind of a testament to Tony Stark. But it's also wasn't.
It felt just more like lazy writing.
Yeah, he retired and he blew up every single one of his suits, but now he's got like a whole army of suits again, and he's like totally okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay,
it had no.
It had no resolve.
Yeah.
Okay, ready for number 14? Mine's kind of controversial. I know you won't. You really
I put Iron Man 2. I kind of clumped 2 and 3 together.
I put Ant-Man.
What?
Yeah. Paul Rudd carried that movie.
Of course, he's the main character.
Okay, but other than that, first of all, worst villain of maybe all time.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah.
Okay,
maybe Ant-Man has probably the worst villain of all movies history.
I'm going to give you what my number 1 is right now, because this is an unpopular opinion, and I need to argue right now. I put Ant-Man as my number 1. Yeah, dude, Ant-Man.
Oof.
Should we discuss? Should we argue about this when we get to number 1? Or
a little bit, but
right
wait
now?
till we get to number 1.
Okay, a little bit. Villain, not true. The villain was amazing.
he was so boring. He was like a business guy, and he had he was like not a threat at all. I guess
because most Marvel villains, most super villains in general, are really impractical. They want to take over the entire world, or they just are solely based on hatred and revenge.
That's what he is. All he wanted is revenge on Hank Pym.
No. He was a businessman. He was going to make millions off of stealing another idea.
Yeah,
and
I suppose, but
he was.
But he also
that's a
wanted
practical
revenge.
idea. People like that happens today. You gotta be dirty to get the bucks. You
gotta be dirty. You heard it here
I don't
first,
know what
ladies
that
and gentlemen.
means, but like he wanted to be rich, and he would do anything to get there, and that's a real motive.
I suppose
taking over the entire world, not really a real motive. That's so impractical.
Unless you're like Loki or something, or Thanos.
Like he was a real villain, dude.
Yeah, but he was so lame.
How was he lame?
Okay, you're gonna argue.
I am. That was a
Ant-Man
great
for
movie.
a long time. I pretty much said the reason I put Ant-Man. It lacked pretty much a story. I guess it had some good themes of fathership and redemption, I suppose.
We'll touch more about this when we get to number 1.
Yeah, I suppose. Number 13 then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I put Iron Man 2 because
we kind of already talked about that.
It was good, but that's pretty much it. It was just okay.
Yeah.
Kind of basic. Let's move on. Number 13.
I put Doctor Strange.
Really, mine's really close. I put 12 as Doctor Strange. I put 13 as Captain America: The First Avenger, the first Captain America movie.
Oh yeah.
It was good. I'm starting to get into the movies that are all good.
Yeah, same here.
But some are better than others.
Except for Doctor Strange, I'm not a fan of Doctor Strange that much. I think it was overrated. I'll go ahead and say that before you talk about
Strange
Captain
was
America.
overrated.
Yeah, apparently the critics loved it, and so did all the fans. I wasn't a big fan of it. I don't really like Doctor Strange as a character. He was kind of boring to me.
I went in,
and he seemed kind of just like a jerk.
I went in thinking that it was going to be terrible because when you bring magic into there's no way to explain magic.
Yeah.
So I feel like when you bring magic into a movie, any loophole or any plot hole or any bad writing, you can just cover up with the magic.
Yeah. Which they kind of did that, but they did good about that.
Yeah, and they did good not doing that, I think.
Yeah.
So I rated that one a little higher on my list.
Yeah.
But you're right. I feel like it was overrated.
Yeah.
And
it was just meh.
Yeah, and the LSD effect was really hurting my brain.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so what? You're 13. You put
my
Captain
13,
America.
Captain America: The First Avenger.
First Captain America movie.
It was good, but I also think it's overrated. there's so many people that just love Captain America. And every time I watch Captain America, I just think that he could be so much more effective with any other weapon than his shield. like
a gun, maybe.
Yeah.
Or even like a sword.
Well, in one scene in the first Captain America, he does have a gun. He runs in, he's got his shield, and like what time period is he in? I can't remember.
60s, 40s. Something.
He's got like this revolver, and he's shooting people, and that is the most practical thing. Like he's got the best metal in the world that he's using practically, okay, and then he's got a gun because it's also practical.
Yeah.
And he's a super soldier, so he's in the front lines, totally practical. But that's the only scene that he ever uses any other weapon.
Yeah, he kind of refrains from using weapons for some reason.
He's the most powerful like human ever, and he fights completely impractically.
Yeah, I suppose I can see that.
But
I just like Captain America because it was good. It was like a classic. You can't really dislike Captain America, or at least in the first Captain America movie, you can't really dislike that Captain America.
And I liked that it didn't really feel like a superhero movie. It felt more like a war movie.
Yeah,
I
do like war movies.
I like war movies too.
Peggy Carter was a really good character.
Yeah, she was good. And I like that she was kind of a side character in that movie, but she was tied into the rest of the Marvel Cinematic movies,
with her own show and whatnot.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
I would say the villain kind of sucks in this one too. Marvel does have a villain problem. That's a well-known fact.
I never got this villain either. He was just kind of...
It's like Red Skull seems really cool, but he didn't do much.
It was like Hitler, but they didn't want to put Hitler in the movie.
Yes, yeah.
So they just renamed him Red Skull.
Yeah, for sure.
And he was just power hungry, which again, impractical villain, you know?
Yeah.
Is there ever really anybody who's just flat out power hungry?
So, which Hydra pretty much just is kind of power hungry. Kind of like a cult.
But it wasn't a bad movie. Like this Here Up is when all the movies are great, but some are better than others. Yeah. So let's keep going.
Okay, number 12.
I put Doctor Strange, as we already discussed.
Yep. Mine's a little controversial. I put Guardians 2.
Really? That low?
Yeah. Well, like we said, these are all good. The only reason I put Guardians 2 down here was like, it just felt like a washed up version of the first one. It didn't feel like a sequel. It felt like just the same thing over again. There were redeeming factors. Like Nebula had more screen time, and I liked that part. I kind of liked the whole Peter and his dad thing. I kind of didn't like it at the same time though. It was like some weird like 80s like weird planet that he made, and
it was weird. It was definitely weird.
I feel like they just kind of overshot a little bit. I don't know. It was kind of it just felt kind of bland.
I liked it though because the first Guardians everybody loved. And
the first Guardians was great.
They loved it because, well, first of all, it was hilarious. And
this one was pretty funny too. Not as funny though. I think
the best part about Guardians is the characters and the world they were in. It was all like they all worked in harmony. The characters interactions were hilarious, and the interaction with the world around them was hilarious, and it was so new and I guess refreshing to the other Marvel movies. And so when they came out with this sequel, they kind of expanded upon everything that the fans loved, and I think that's
but I just think it kind of missed the mark. Sorry, hate me if you want.
I mean, that's acceptable.
Like I said, these are all good. Like from here on up, these are all really good.
But I put mine way higher.
Okay, but what was yours? You put Doctor Strange for 12?
Yeah, I put Doctor Strange.
Okay, we talked about that.
Already kind of.
I guess we can move on to 11. Mm-hmm. I put what did I put for 11? I put Age of Ultron.
Okay. I put Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Now
really?
Yeah.
Wow,
I could not quite put it in my top 10 because, I don't know. It was kind of the whole movie was him kind of just. I don't know. It just wasn't that great compared to the other ones.
Okay,
you know? It was a good movie though.
Yeah. Okay.
What'd you put?
We're on number 11, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Age of Ultron.
Okay.
We kind of talked about that.
Kind of talked about that one too.
Yeah, Marvel just kind of has problems with darker movies. It's just they kind of do. They're getting better with it. So.
Yeah, and the Winter Soldier, I'm probably going to get hate for that one too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't want to tell you where mine is, but I actually don't like Bucky Barnes that much. But Winter Soldier was good.
Yeah, I like that they brought him back from the dead. That's really cool.
Yeah, but they do it too much.
I also didn't like it because Marvel can't kill off a character.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it was,
What is the bad things about it? I mean, you put it at number 11.
well, there's nothing. I don't think
I mean, you put the Hulk above it.
I did put the Incredible Hulk above it. I think that's just a personal decision. I put the Incredible Hulk as number 10. I just love the Incredible Hulk. He's one of my favorite superheroes.
Wait, so are you gonna say anything bad about Winter Soldier?
Am I going to say anything bad about it?
That made you put it lower?
I'm just not a huge Captain America fan, I think.
Yeah, I can see it. I'm not either.
I mean, I love Captain America, but I don't love him as much as other characters.
Okay, yeah.
And he has no. I don't think Captain America has had, if any, maybe a little bit, any character.
Yeah, he just started to get some in Civil War, and not even that much.
He's always been the same character.
I mean, it's no fun to have a perfect character.
No matter what he experiences, no matter what kind of adventures he's forced to go through, his character has never changed.
Yeah,
and it doesn't change, and that's not necessarily bad because that kind of is his character type.
Bad. Yeah,
but I like to see the story move the character.
Yeah, they're getting there. They're getting there for sure.
So yeah, number 10, right above Captain America: The Winter Soldier, I put the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, I put Thor for number 10.
Really, I loved Thor, dude.
No, I like Thor. Well, listen, we're on the top 10.
Okay, top 10. Okay,
give or take.
Yeah, I put the Incredible Hulk because, like I said before, I think it wasn't actually intense. I think every scene was intense. Like, is he going to turn into this monster? And I thought the fight scenes were just flat out awesome.
The fight scenes
the
were a little
scenes.
the flot.
I thought the flat scenes
the
were
flat scenes were very intense. No, I thought the fight scenes were kind of just lame. I mean,
really,
for a big giant monster, they didn't do a whole lot. I mean, he destroyed some tanks.
Dude, they threw cars at each other, and they like jumped
the last
up
one's
on
not
this
bad,
helicopter, and that.
But other than that, it just felt kind of meh.
It was, yeah. I thought the fight scenes were awesome, and I loved Abomination. One thing I hated about this movie, so they there's like this serum that he's made to make himself.
Oh, the cliffhanger, the ultimate
they have this. They have this ultimate cliffhanger. So he makes this serum. Well, the Hulk gets this serum on accident, and then some other guys, the bad guys, are trying to recreate this serum so that he can be a better Hulk. And he finally does. He makes this serum, and he becomes another Hulk called the Abomination.
Yep.
And they fight, and in the end, Hulk wins. Spoilers. But some of the serum drips onto the scientist that helped him make the serum, and the scientist starts
like bubbling up.
Yeah, he starts transforming into something.
We don't know.
Yeah, and the music gets intense, and it starts zooming in on the scientist's face, like
then
he's about to turn into something.
Then it goes into the next scene.
But then it clips into the next scene, and you never find out what happened to the
go
scientist.
back to it, but no, they don't. Yeah.
They leave you. They like
maybe someday. Who knows?
It's like they had this good storyline, but then they scrapped it, and they didn't ever want to make a second Incredible Hulk movie.
Yeah, I don't think they ever will.
And
sorry.
And I like that actor too. He was also in Holes.
Ed Norton?
No, the guy who was playing the scientist.
Oh yeah.
But
Mark Ruffalo is better.
They made this
Ed
great
Norton.
cliffhanger and just threw in the trash. What?
You have to say Mark Ruffalo is better than Ed Norton, right?
Yeah, I can agree with that. And yes, I also hate that they traded actors. I hate inconsistency.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and I put Thor for number 10. I'll go ahead and speak a little bit about that. I really like Thor. It was a classic like fish out of water story. But
I loved it too, dude.
It didn't have honestly now it's just gotten to the point where I just liked other ones better. Like there's not a whole lot bad about it. It's just I enjoyed the other ones better.
I loved Thor, dude.
So we can move on to 9.
I think I've said everything's my favorite. Anyway, number 9, Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2.
I put the first Captain America for number 9.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the top 10 too. So this is
I put Guardians because Guardians 2 is a great movie, but it was not as good as Guardians 1, which I put higher on the list.
True.
And
I did too.
In my opinion, if you know that your sequel is not going to be as good as the first one, don't make a sequel. But I think that this was a really good sequel, and it was arguably better than the first one. I've heard people say it is, so I put it up pretty high on the list.
Yeah, mine was a little lower, but I still enjoyed it. What did I put? We're on number 9.
And yeah, I didn't put it quite higher number 9, because the villain was weird to me. He was like a god, but he couldn't do very much. But he was
a planet. And then now Chris Pratt is also a planet? I don't know. It's weird.
Chris Pratt is like half human, half planet.
Yeah, it's weird. Know. I mean, I get it's from the comics, but, I put the first Captain America movie, kind of already talked about it. Good. Yep. But, it's
a good war movie.
Yeah.
But an okay superhero movie.
Yeah. And
that's a good way to explain it.
The character story was just kind of bland, but overall pretty good.
Hardly any character arc in Captain America. Yeah. But I think we'll get some soon.
Yeah, I think, it's already started a little bit.
Yeah. Number 9, or I mean number 8.
Yeah, I put Thor Ragnarok.
Really?
Yeah, you probably put that as number 1 or something.
I put Ant-Man as number 1.
Oh yeah, don't tell me where you put Thor Ragnarok.
Number 8, I put Captain America: Civil War.
Really?
Yep.
I put mine a little higher than that.
It's really good. I loved Civil War, but again, I like to see more of one character and not a bunch of characters.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. Well, and I think they did a really good job. It's hard when you have so many main characters. It's hard to bring all those characters in and focus on all those. You can't focus on all those characters.
Oh yeah, no, that's like
And obviously it was called Captain America: Civil War, so it was kind of from Captain America's perspective, which really helped, and that was a really good idea.
Yeah, which is sad because I'm Team Iron Man. We won't get into why because we might do that.
I'm
for an
Team
episode.
Captain America. And yeah, so I think they did a really good job at focusing on every character.
Yeah,
but still, I don't know. I don't prefer to have. Many.
I didn't put it that much higher.
Confusing.
I put mine at number 7, so I only put it one higher. But my number 8 was Thor Ragnarok. I know you really like that one. I actually thought there's a little too much humor. I thought just a little overboard with it. I would have to say.
I also put that in my notes.
But it does have one of the greatest fight scenes of all time. So
it does. And dude,
Thor versus Hulk. Yeah,
I think you should move it up just a little bit solely for that scene where he lands on the Rainbow Bridge and his hammer's destroyed, and Thor gets up and the lightning is coming out of his eyes.
That's pretty good.
And there's light, and he learns how to control the lightning just with his bare hands. Dude, that was so cool.
Yeah. I would switch. I would switch around. I would switch around Thor Ragnarok and Civil War, which is my next one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's my 7. I guess my 7 is Thor Ragnarok. No. Civil War was my number 7, which we kind of talked about. What's your number 7?
Black Panther was my number 7.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I think Black Panther was good, and I think there's a lot of Black Panther enthusiasts out there. Yeah, but it was a little overrated for me.
Yeah.
But it was good, and I don't think it was more like I don't know. Black Panther didn't do anything very superhero.
Yeah, it was a little more kind of like a political thriller, but kind of like even almost like a spy movie almost.
A little bit, kind of like Mission Impossible.
Yeah, in some parts of it. Yeah, when they went to Korea.
I did like the fights. I liked the villain. He was cool.
He was cool.
I did not expect him to come in and be the true king of Wakanda.
Because the good thing about that is when he was coming and taking over T'Challa, you wanted to be against him, but like they were saying, he was doing everything fair, He was following all the rules.
You wanted to hate him, but
he was following the rules,
He was walking exactly how Black Panther told him to, and it was crazy.
How the rules.
But I also liked that the message I thought was good because he had he was Killmonger was portrayed as a villain, and he had a lot of different beliefs that I think are wrong. And so I like that they portrayed those beliefs to be wrong. And I thought that was really good.
Yeah, but he was a good balance between, because that's what you want with a villain. You want a villain that has good points, but obviously is still bad.
Want a villain that...
And I think they did a pretty good job at that.
They did.
It was a little all over the place, but I'll save it till I talk about Black Panther.
I put it low because I do think it's overrated. I think that... I don't know. It has a lot of good ratings.
Actually, I did see it a second time, and I do say I think it got a little better second time.
Okay. I did not see it a second time, so maybe I'd put it higher.
Yeah, maybe. But are we on to number 6?
What did you put for number 7?
Oh, I put Civil War. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
6.
Number 6.
I put
Thor.
I put Spider-Man.
Really? Yeah. That's pretty close to what I put.
Yeah,
I put Spider-Man
almost
as 5.
the top 5. Yeah.
So I put Thor because this was the very first Marvel movie that they came out with when they started to experiment with the humor side of Marvel.
Well, they'd always been doing that, but yeah,
but this one was probably the funniest. They put real jokes in there, and I like that. That was really cool.
Yeah,
and I love the fish out of water type character. That when he's in the coffee shop and he's drinking a cup of coffee and he's like, "This is delicious," and he slams the coffee cup on the ground and he says, "Bring me another." That's just so funny to me.
Yeah.
So that was really good, and I love the mythical, mythology type medieval heroes. Those are really cool to me.
Yeah. Thor was good. I just put it a little lower because there were just more that were entertaining to me.
And I put a little note that Agent Coulson was in this movie.
Yeah, Agent Coulson.
I love
good.
Agent Coulson.
Yeah, he's
dude.
one of the best characters.
He's a great character.
But
He's like
not really.
He's like a sub character.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he's not a main character in anything except for a TV show, which we're not rating.
Maybe that'll be next episode.
Yeah, rating the Marvel TV shows. But anyway, he's just a great sub character.
I put I put Spider-Man good. I really like the teenager, like, and he's like in school, but he's a superhero. I really like that. I know people didn't like that Iron Man was in it so much. I didn't mind that. I kind of liked it. He's like his mentor.
I liked it too.
They had to have someone like that because they had to have a mentor, because obviously it can't be his aunt. It has to be someone who knows he's a superhero, you know?
Right. And I think I think what they were trying to do was separate this movie from the old Spider-Man movies.
Yeah,
they wanted something new, because you can't, how many times can you remake the same movie? Right. You have to bring something different.
Yeah, that's also they didn't do an origin story, which I appreciate.
But some things I didn't really like about it. I don't like that Tony Stark made Spider-Man's suit. That was kind of a downer for me.
Not his first one, and we get to see him wear his
first
other
one wasn't really a suit. His first one was a costume.
It was more accurate than some of the other ones.
Sure, but there was no. He didn't invent his own technology, which I think, because when a kid in high school invents something new, and that like shows how smart he is, and it speaks for his character. And in the Marvel, in the comics anyway, he's like one of the top smartest people in the whole universe. And I don't like that they took that away. I like him being that smart as a teenage kid. But yeah, you know.
It was good though. It was really enjoyable. I liked it. So we're on to number 5.
Yeah.
Which
what'd you put?
My number 5 was Black Panther.
Okay. So we're kind
yours
of
was Spider-Man, right?
This. Yeah, mine was Spider-Man.
Yeah. So we kind of talked about both of those.
I do have a couple more notes on Spider-Man, because Spider-Man's like my hero, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I've been on Spider-Man for a long time.
And Hulk, apparently.
And Hulk, yeah, and Thor. But anyway, he's super relatable, so I think that's good. And and I loved I didn't really like the villain very much, actually.
Really, I liked him. He was so down to earth. I figured you would. You liked.
He was.
You liked the Ant-Man villain.
Shut up. But I did think it was crazy when the villain turned out to be his date's dad.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Crazy.
And it was funny when they were in the car, and he was like in the car with his prom date, and the super villain that was trying to kill him.
That was so funny.
And you were like, cool. Oh, does he know that it's Spider-Man, or it's? Oh yeah.
So number 4.
Number 4, I put Avengers.
Oh really? The first one?
Yeah, it was classic. It brought them all together. This might have just been a nostalgia thing, but to like see all the heroes coming together for the first time, and it's like, oh, there they are.
That was cool. Okay.
Also, there's that really funny line that Nick Fury says. He's like, I acknowledge that the council's made a decision, but given that it's a stupid decision, I've elected to ignore it. That's like the best line.
That is really. I love anything. Nick Fury. He's a great character,
and he was in that one a lot.
He was. I put for number 4 Thor Ragnarok.
Okay, yeah.
We're getting to the top 5 here.
Yeah.
Top 4, I guess now. I said that it first of all was hilarious, but I did note that some of the jokes seemed extremely forced.
Yeah.
And very cheesy.
It would take away some of the emotion.
And it was 100% a comedy movie.
Yeah, 100%. Not even any other percent.
Which isn't a bad thing, and I really liked it, and I think that fits well with
the
Thor,
superhero genre, especially.
Yeah, Thor, not the superhero.
I meant Thor especially, but also with the superhero genre.
Yeah, well, I think...
Because, this is something that Marvel's done, especially with Thor Ragnarok, is they've acknowledged that, okay, comics are weird. I mean, this is weird. So they acknowledge it.
That's what I was going to say.
Think works.
Like when you have Captain America, it's kind of like a war movie, and that stuff's real, and it's not funny. That's not something to laugh about. But then you have Thor, who's walking on Rainbow Bridge, okay? And that, how can you not make a joke about that? And the same thing goes for Guardians of the Galaxy. You have a walking raccoon and a giant tree man flying around the galaxy. How can you not make that a comedy? And I think that they embraced that, and that's what made it so great.
Okay. So are we down to the top 3?
Top 3.
I kind of said about Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3.
Okay, top 3.
Okay. You ready? Guardians of the Galaxy.
Number 3?
Yeah.
Me too. Guardians of the Galaxy. Just like I just said, I think it was great that they embraced that comedy.
Yeah.
You can't...
And it was refreshing, like you said that earlier. It was a big twist.
But even though the characters were so funny and there were so many jokes, it was still...
So heartfelt.
Yeah, it was so
like
heartfelt.
The moment with Groot. Oh, Groot,
man.
R.I.P. That was getting me. Or when they were
That
all in the
gets me
circle,
too.
and he was like, Chris Pratt was like, they were all like broken. They had nothing else to lose, and they all stood up in the circle.
Yeah, and they all grabbed hands for the stone
well,
to
that too,
kill
yeah.
them too. That was
It was pretty good. It was such a heartfelt movie,
and it was just so funny.
And yeah, the soundtrack. People,
Oh, yeah, of
they've
course.
started a trend. Like now, all movies are try to fit in some sort of fun
They
soundtrack,
did. They
and
started
they've
a
done it the
trend.
best. Like
They
Suicide
have.
Squad tried to do that. It didn't land. The songs were forced, but they did it so perfectly in Guardians of the Galaxy.
It was so perfect.
Yeah.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
And I'll also like to note that the CGI and the animation in that movie was really,
Yeah, that's
really
true.
good. And the
it was
special
like
effects.
99% CGI.
Yeah, like the Rocket Raccoon was 100% CGI, and so was Groot. And they looked really good. And I think the actors interacted with that really well.
Yeah, it's impressive. Yeah.
Like, that's not something you notice. You don't like
Yeah.
watch a movie and go, did that character really interact with that fake character? But then when you think that Chris Pratt is standing there talking to absolutely nobody, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's really cool. And number 2?
Iron Man.
Dude, me too.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I was waiting for this.
Yeah, Iron Man was a classic.
It really is a classic. It's like, it's really carried a lot, and it was a great way to, I guess it didn't technically get the Marvel Cinematic Universe started because Hulk did, but I like to say that this really got the Cinematic Universe started.
I agree. I actually put in my notes, no, wait, I didn't. Well, I was going to put in my notes that it did kickstart the cinematic universe.
Mm-hmm.
The Incredible Hulk really didn't, because I don't think it did very well.
No, if it was trying to.
box
I think
office.
what happened was they made the Hulk, and they're like, okay, this is gonna work. I think we should make more superhero movies. And then they were like, kind of like scrapped.
It was kind of like
an
experiment.
Yeah.
Like, will people like this?
And then they were like, okay, now we can really get started on something bigger.
Yeah, and I think the Iron Man's origin story had never been done before.
Yeah,
also,
he was
so
kind of like
that was really cool.
Not a lot of people knew about like Iron Man that weren't like now. Iron Man and all of the Avengers really have become like a household name. But you got to think when they made this movie, it was a big risk because like anybody that didn't read comics didn't know a whole lot about superhero movies because that wasn't a thing.
And I think they did a really good job starting superheroes off where they started them off because, like in Iron Man 1, he had real problems.
Yeah.
And like real world issues.
Yeah, I mean,
that's someone who doesn't watch superhero movies can watch Iron Man and be like, okay, I get it.
Even before he made his suit, it was just him dealing with his company, and that one guy wanted to take over his company, you know?
Yeah. And I think it was really cool when he did build his very first suit.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the best montages when he's got like, he was trying to build all his suits and stuff.
And he had a really, really good redemption story.
Yeah, true. Throughout just all of his movies that he's in.
Because he was so rich and cocky, and then he was so humbled. Like, he was forcefully humbled when he was kidnapped.
Accidentally.
And everything was stripped away from him.
Yeah, and it's very symbolic of, it's literally about, he's literally trying to fix his broken heart.
Dude, that's...
With his actual heart.
That's
and
deep.
With Iron Man. The thing that he used to fix his actual heart fixed his metaphorical heart.
Dude, that gave me chills.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, think about it.
Dude, you should write a poem.
Oh,
Okay.
true.
And number 1, what did you put?
You put Ant-Man.
Shut up.
I put Winter Soldier.
What?
Captain America Winter Soldier. Yeah, that was such a well done movie. It was like a political thriller. It was a superhero movie. It had a little bit of humor. It was just so good. What is happening? Our dog just scratched our door. Sorry.
And I put Ant-Man. Now, Ant-Man, dude, how can you not like Ant-Man?
Okay,
it's funny.
Listen, I don't dislike it.
It's relatable.
There's no way it's better than all these other
lovable
movies.
characters, a reasonable villain, unlike what you said. Dude,
oh my goodness,
Ant-Man is
Ant-Man.
And
wow,
yes,
he's okay. Lovable characters, one. Okay,
no.
Maybe Evangeline Lilly's character too, who I don't even remember her name.
Wrong. Stop talking. No. Ant-Man, the main character, he's hilarious. He's lovable.
Yeah, okay,
he's
one.
relatable. The old man, Hank Pym, he's so funny.
I guess.
He
Okay.
That's like the old grouchy guy who used to be a superhero.
Okay,
and
there's
you can
three
see
good
it.
characters: Hank Pym, his daughter, and Ant-Man. Okay,
No,
but like
no.
Okay.
What about his best friend who rides the van?
Oh, I did
he's
forget about that.
hilarious.
Okay, him.
What about his whole gang? The
Okay,
Russian
those
guy,
other two are-
what's his
they
name?
got kind of
the
annoying.
wizard, the black guy. Dude, they are hilarious.
They're okay at best. Okay,
No.
but what about the other forgettable characters like his wife or his daughter or the villain or the cop guy that's like his ex-wife's new husband? That guy's like the worst character.
First of all,
any
they're
movie.
sub characters. So
Yeah, I
if
don't
they're
know.
forgettable,
They got
it's
quite a bit of
okay.
screen time.
The only reason that of course there's forgettable characters in every
Yeah,
movie.
not to mention
You
the
have to
physics of that movie are whack.
Okay, you have to excuse that it's completely fictional.
You bashed Captain America for having an unconventional fighting method. I could bash this for having unconventional physics.
But I think there's a difference between the hero thinking realistically and then doing something that is fictional. Because, I mean, with those fictional abilities, he still thinks realistically.
I don't know. But Winter Soldier is just so much better.
And with the whole Hydra always finds out.
Okay, yeah.
That character, even that manager of that restaurant's hilarious.
Yeah,
that was like the funniest scene in the whole thing.
The story is forgettable too.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yawn.
He was
Snooze.
doing everything for his daughter.
Yeah.
How was that forgettable?
Yeah.
He sacrificed his own life to save his daughter. He had.
Yeah. Okay. Man. And how long can they stretch out this gimmick of, oh, look, he's small. Look, he threw a toy train. How long can they stretch out this gimmick?
Stretch it out for a whole movie because it was so
we'll
funny.
See what happens in the next one. Okay. I think that wraps up everything.
Yeah. I think we definitely had some surprising top fives. Yeah. I think,
but we also agreed surprisingly on Guardians and
we did
Iron
agree
Man.
with our top, almost our top three.
Yeah,
almost our top four, almost our top five actually.
Yeah, we were really close.
So yeah, I guess that's it. I hope this gets good feedback like our last one. If you want us to rank more movies, let us know.
I don't know what other movies we could rank. Maybe
there's
TV
so
shows?
Many movies. There's so many movies.
Of course.
We could just rank the best movies
ever.
like out of every movie ever. Because I have some opinions on those.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at
Squabble Podcast.
I've never done that before.
Yeah, you threw me under the bus.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow because it really helps us out.
Yes, it does.
You can also listen to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. We also have a Patreon, which I've announced a couple times. If you donate enough money, there's a little thing. You just go to patreon.com. You can donate money, and we will send you a official Squabble coffee mug.
Yes, it'll probably be a while till you get it, but
yep. And one day we might have a T-shirt.
Yes.
So, yep.
Look forward to that.
That's it. We'll snap you later.
Yep. Snap you later.
Oh, you snapped in your mouth this time.
Mouth snaps.